Before I ever published my first piece of written content, I was overthinking it like crazy. I'm not kidding, I literally spent months, in reality, probably years, overthinking this decision. I was wondering things like, what would people think about what I wrote? What would my friends think? What would my family think? Who am I to write things? What if I suck? What if all this? What if that? You get the point. If you experience overthinking, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And this went on for way too long, just keeping me from trying to achieve my goals. And one day, I don't know what the reason was, I just thought, fuck it. And I did, I wrote something. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember how long it was. I can't even remember what it was about. I do know it was probably terrible, but I posted it. And guess what happened? Absolutely nothing. Nothing happened. All of the stuff that I'd spent months thinking about, all of my biggest fears, didn't come to pass. I didn't have haters. I didn't have my friends messaging me and screenshotting this stuff and sharing it on Facebook. I didn't have family members emailing me asking if I was okay. I didn't have anything. It was crickets. And although it seemed like nothing actually happened, at the same time, everything in my life changed after that point. Because if I hadn't posted that first piece of trash content, you probably wouldn't be watching this right now. I don't know where I'd be. I'd probably be in like a K-hole or something, like a permanent K-hole. But alas, here I am. And it's all because I posted that first piece of content. And since that day, I've written over 650 articles on Medium. I've posted thousands of tweets. I've met some amazing people and discovered some incredible pieces of content. I've learned so many things. I've been able to grow an audience of over 27,000 people on Medium. And I've even been able to make thousands of dollars online. But most importantly, I've been able to build my life around being creative. And none of this would have been possible if I didn't stop overthinking and just started writing. And today, I want to show you how to do the same. This is going to be a weird analogy, but just bear with me. Overthinking is like the elephant graveyard in The Lion King. I don't know if you remember what that is. But basically, there's a reason why Mufasa tells Simba not to go there. It's dark, it's scary, there are a bunch of hungry hyenas just chilling there waiting to kill the cubs. And it's where young lion cubs go to die. Or in this case, your writing dreams. Look, if you're still putting off publishing your work, if you're not sure if your ideas are good enough or that your skills are sharp enough, or even if you think you are ready but you just haven't taken the plunge yet, this video is for you. I'm going to break down the psychological traps that are keeping you stuck, and I'm going to give you the step-by-step roadmap to finally start creating. And I'm also going to reveal the number one thing that keeps beginners from ever sharing their work. This thing is so toxic and so self-destructive, it is the main reason why most writers never post anything they write. It's responsible for more dead dreams than the elephant graveyard. But first, we need to talk about the biggest myth that new writers believe before they start writing. And that's the belief that everyone is watching. I hate to break it to you, and spoiler alert, but they're not. They're not. No one's watching. No one cares. I've experienced this firsthand. When I've posted my first article, I was waiting with bated breath. I was refreshing the page to see if there was any engagement. I was going on Google, seeing if Medium was down or something, or if it wasn't working properly. I was even checking my emails to see if I got any fan mail. I was so delusional, but there was nothing, right? Absolutely nothing. And at first, I'm not going to lie, I was kind of disappointed. But after that, I was hit with this overwhelming sense of freedom. I know that sounds weird, but just let me explain. Because when no one's watching, especially when you're writing, you're free to do whatever you want. You can go wherever you want. You can write about anything you want, and you don't have any pressure. There are no expectations. There's no standard that people can hold you to. You can just go wherever you want. In essence, you can treat writing like play. You can experiment, you can fail, and most importantly, you can learn. Nobody cares yet. And okay, you might be an attention whore and you might not like that, but it's actually a blessing. You can reframe this as a blessing. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. Because the truth is, there are plenty of established writers who feel pigeonholed. They feel trapped in the niche that they have to write for. These writers can't just roll out of bed and write about whatever they want. They have a niche. They have fans. They have people who expect certain things. They have a style of writing and a writing topic that brings in money. They can't afford to just follow their curiosities. If they don't hit the quotas, their entire career could be in jeopardy. This is something that you don't have when you first start writing. You can just enjoy writing. You don't have to worry about any of that bullshit. Now, as promised, I need to share the most destructive thing that destroys new writers from ever starting. But in order to best explain it, I need to tell you a weird story about 2 pottery classes. My dad actually told me this story. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know where he got it from. But basically, there were 2 pottery classes. One class was told that over the next 30 days, they only had one goal, which was to make the best pot possible. Meanwhile, the other class was told that over the next 30 days, they have to make as many pots as possible. So basically, it was like an experiment to see which was better, quality or quantity. Now, let me ask you something. If you had to guess which class made the best pots, which one would you choose? If you chose quality, you, sir, are 100% wrong. I know, surprising, right? The truth is, the best pots came from the quantity group. Why? Because they were getting the most practice. While the quality group was just tinkering and trying to make the best pot possible, the quantity group were making so many pots and improving each time that by the end of the 30 days, their pots were immaculate. The greatest pots you could ever picture in your mind. The quality group didn't get that because they were just too perfectionism oriented. Their pots were okay, but compared to the quantity group, oh my god, the quantity group just blew them out the water. And this is the same with writing. The best pieces of writing do not come from perfection planning, right? They come from doing. You cannot plan your way to excellence. You get to excellence by executing. It seems really counterintuitive, but when you write 100 really bad pieces of content, you will get better. Whereas someone else who doesn't post anything, but just plans and plans and plans, will never get better. Because most people who are just these massive perfectionists, they don't even make anything. They let their egos get in the way and they're too afraid to share what they've written. Look, your brain will convince you that you can think your way into becoming a great writer. But this is obviously not true. This is bullshit. The way you become a great writer is by writing your way there, not by thinking your way there. And don't worry if your first posts aren't very good. This is something else that holds so many writers back. They think that if it's not good, they shouldn't share it. This is just flawed. I'll hold my hands up right now and I'm going to tell you, my first posts were atrocious, diabolical, hideous, disgusting. Honestly, it's a miracle I made it this far. But so what? Because every single creator goes through the exact same process. I know it sounds crazy to believe, but there was in fact a time when Jimi Hendrix couldn't play a single note on the guitar. There was a time when Paul McCartney, one of the greatest musicians to ever live, got excited about learning how to play a B7 chord. He got excited about learning how to play one chord, because that's how bad he was. And this is the same for all the internet creators that we see. I don't like Mr. Beast's videos, but his videos are so different compared to when he first started. You can just see the difference in production value. It's incredible, the transformation he's gone through. But it's even the same for more interesting creators like Dan Coe and Actualize.org. Everyone starts at the same place. Everyone starts from zero. The point is, being bad is part of the process. Your job is not to avoid being bad. Your job is to get through that phase as fast as possible so you can start producing good work. You can't avoid it. You have to transcend it. There's a big difference. As a writer, this means writing until what you write becomes good. It's really that simple. Because let me be blunt with you for a second. You want to write, right? Right. You get what I'm saying. You want to write, correct? If so, then write. Don't think about writing. Don't look up tips about writing. Don't read books on writing. Write. I'm here for you. I'm here to help you along the way. But just because you're watching this video doesn't mean you shouldn't be writing things yourself. You absolutely should. Because writers write. That's it. That's all they do. Okay, that's not all they do, but that is fundamentally what they do. Writers write. They don't procrastinate. They don't mull over perfectionism. They write. Your brain will always try to convince you that you need to learn more first, that you need the perfect system, that you need the perfect roadmap, that you need the perfect routine, that you need someone else's permission. All of this is bullshit. All of this is just stalling. All of this is keeping you from doing the only thing you need to be doing, which is writing. The truth is, your brain is just being a massive coward because it doesn't want you to do new things. It can't stand change and it never will. You need to just get on with it and start writing. Even a terrible idea that you write about is better than like this perfect idea that you have in your head. Because, to be honest, a perfect idea is completely useless if it doesn't come into the material world. If you just have the idea and you think the idea is like the best idea ever, but you never write about it, then it's completely pointless. You might as well have had a terrible idea. There's no difference. So I've just hit you with a few truth bombs, and I understand if you're like shaking in your seat right now. But these bombs needed to blow up all over your face. Pause. And look, I understand how hard it is to start something new. I totally get it. You just have to understand that it will always feel wrong at first. You will always have doubts. You'll always be wondering if you're doing the right thing. This is unavoidable. This is part of the hero's journey. But understand that this isn't a sign you're failing. All this is a sign of is that you're doing something new, which means you're growing. Just to level with you, I was experiencing so much doubt yesterday. I was low all day. And I have no idea why. Maybe it was because of something I ate. I had a brownie last night and never again. But either way, I was just filled with so much doubt, specifically about this YouTube channel and these videos that you're watching. But I know that this is just normal, right? Because obviously I have these big goals. I have these expectations about what these videos are going to do. But because they're not reaching those expectations right now, and from my perspective, they're underperforming, I'm going to have a lot of anxiety. I'm going to have doubts about that. But this is part of the process. How do I know? Because I experienced the exact same thing when I was writing on Medium or any of the other platforms. Understand that by choosing to be a writer, you're not just signing up for some quick win. This is a long game. In reality, this is a lifetime game. Think about what it is you're actually doing. You're not just starting a new set of habits. Fundamentally, you're creating a completely new identity. And if you've even read just like a little bit of Carl Jung, you'll know that this is not some easy thing to do. This is extremely difficult. Because your old identity is going to fight for its life to stay exactly where you are. It's just a matter of whether you'll let it or not. Will you remain who you are now? Or will you be a writer? If you want to master the art of psychology and inject that skill set into your writing, click the first link in the description and sign up for Magnetic Writing. It's my free email course. I think you'll get a lot out of it. If you're serious about becoming a digital writer in 2025, click the second link in the description and sign up for Medium Mastery. And if you like this video, you'll love this next one where I show you how to make old ideas feel new. I'll see you there. Bye.